Hey Joe, how you go?
Again, why this speaker won't work?
Little technical difficulties?
No, it's just since I switched the now they've gone. I switched the earphones. They take a second to connect to the other computer. It's slower.
Hey, good morning, Corey.
Why did I call Garcia? It was about trust. Garcia's been in the business for a long time.
And Brenda, of course, is here. Sunstar.
I'm Chef John Paul, and Garcia did my roof. Painting in the bathroom? Yes. Painting at the park? Yes. Painting before you sleep? Yes. Is your account open for you sleep banking from anywhere?
That's better. For some reason, the HD was turned off on the camera.
Really?
See, when I switched it over here, everything changed. I was wondering why I kept getting blurry. It wasn't picking me up right. I tell you, I kind of like the two monitors, but if I had to do it again, I probably wouldn't do it. I probably wouldn't do it if I hadn't done it yet. If I knew it was going to be like it is, it's doing what I want it to do, but it's a little different.
Well, it's like anything else. The older we get, Joe, you know this. I don't like
Change.
change. I don't like doing something different than I've already been doing it, you know?
Well, but I don't mind the change part of it because I like that part of it. It's just it's not what I wanted to do. It is doing what I wanted to do, but not like I wanted to do it.
Good morning, Bill.
Because I want to be able to. They got a taskbar on both of my screens. I want to be able to put the taskbar on the one on the left, and that's where it pops up. I don't want it to pop up in the middle of the right. I don't want to have to drag it. Sometimes when I press it, it works.
Sometimes it
Then
does what you want it to do, and other
yeah,
times
sometimes it does what I want it to do. Sometimes it don't. Like sometimes you feel like a nut. Sometimes you don't. So Corey was first. Where's my mouse? We have Brenda. Joel. See, Mudball may not be in today because he's got a shoot. I think he said he had an all-day shoot today. I won't be here later. I leave here about 1:30. I probably won't be back till 7:30. These are the long days of my life. And I figured you were packing your gear, Donald. Making sure everything's in there so when you get down the street, your little boy doesn't say, "Did I pack that?" I got my last battery charging for the day. Technically didn't need to charge it because it had 2 lines, and I could use 2 lines on that flash for 2 shoots because it doesn't flash that much. The flash doesn't take that much out of it, but just in case, I went ahead and charged it just to give me 2 full batteries. The other ones are going to be 3/4 and a half. Cool cat, what's up? Because I've only got like 15 people to use the flash on today. Yeah, I leave here about 1:30, set up for about 2:15 at the latest. As they start walking in, I think I've got about 18 people to shoot, maybe, if everybody shows up.
So how long will that take you to do all that?
That's not even the point. Like I said, that's at 2:00. At 3:00, we go outside and start shooting the team pictures.
Oh,
So by the time I finish doing the team pictures and getting all that out the way, it's probably going to be, and that's if we get started at 2:00 and I can get the people out of there first. Might be 3:00 when they start showing up. It depends on who's there, because the last guy might be at 3:00. So at 3:00, the goal is to get everybody in the stands, the football team, and take their picture. Then move them down by the back of the field house, because they got across the top of the window skippers, and that's what he wants in front of the trees. And he stands them on a bench so that you see the trees, because that's the way they did it when he was there. So he wants it that way. He likes that. So he sets them up, and that's the position groups. He'll have quarterbacks, running backs, specialists, defensive backs, wide receivers, offensive line, defensive line, the whole setup. So we go team by team. Then all the girls will come and get their picture done. And it's sports medicine. Now, sports medicine takes individual pictures. I got 12 more people to shoot. And I don't know if they're going to do it or not, because they're just the mind of their own now with them. Usually they don't buy them anyway. They'll look at, maybe one will buy it. It's just not an issue. I'd rather take them because they're going to want them you see, they don't realize they don't get a headshot. They don't get put in the program. They'll get one picture. The big group picture will go in a program. But if they got a headshot, they'll put a headshot of each one. So it's like, but that starts at 3:00. I'll probably be finished by 4:30 at the latest with that, if we're on time. Even running later, be 4:30 at the latest. Pack up my equipment, go sit in there with the coach for a little while. Maybe move my car from there to the school, which is about 200 yards away. Because then they got meet the skippers that I got to be at 6:30. So that's the other thing. I might be finished for 4:30, 5:00, but then I got an hour and a half again to wait.
hey, Warren, everybody. How's everybody doing this morning? I see Don's here.
He's packing up. He's got that all-day shoot today.
Yeah, that's what I heard.
Yeah, but like I said, once I finish those, I can get those finished for 4:30. Take me 15, 20 minutes to pack up. That's like 5:00. get that in my car. And then hopefully I'll be able to move the car over by the school, walk by the handicap over there. I won't have to walk back and forth. But it's going to start getting crowded because at 6:30 is meet the skippers. So the parents start showing up there about 5:45.
Ah,
So if I can get over there and park before them, I go kick back in the gym. But they start at 6:30, and it's all the sports, the fall sports. There'll be volleyball.
now
I think last year they should. I think
do
it's
they
all the sports
introduce,
teams,
do they introduce the team members? Is that what they do?
one by one.
Yeah.
And guess what? Guess who takes a picture of them one by one? So there'll be the football team. Last year was the football team. It was I can't remember if the softball team came out and took pictures. I don't think they did.
What about
I think they
soccer?
were there. I can't remember who took last year. I have to go back and look. But I knew it was volleyball. Cheerleaders came out and did a little skit. The Spinnakers came out and did a dance. The Mariners came out and did a dance. And I made money off of them. I make money off of them because the parents, they're divas. They got to have their pictures. So I make sure I got today I'll have my good camera out there and make sure I'll have my fast lens. So when they doing their splits jumping up in the air, I catch them in midair with their splits and when they're flipping upside down and the moms buy them. But I won't get back here tonight till 7:30, 8 o'clock.
Yeah.
That's like a full day for me.
Oh yeah, but you're gonna be dead dog tired too.
And then I gotta edit. So Saturday, I hope to fly sometime Saturday. But between Saturday and Sunday, I've got to get the freshman order together and send it in. And then next week, get the varsity order together and send it in. I'm gonna do it separate this year because I'm doing it a little smarter. That way, when the freshman order comes in, I'll have it about a week ahead of time, and I'll get out there. And when the freshmen come through, I'll sit right by their locker room and say, "You pass me. If you got a picture, take it. If you don't take it, you may not get it for a couple of days. I'm only out there one day." But I got some of the parents now showing interest from the freshmen and the action shots.
Well, now how many parents will be in attendance? I know the kids will all be there.
Most of them. Oh, the gym's gonna be packed.
Oh, it will be filled.
Oh yeah. Because the parents that are coming in are like a regular day with the students. The gym will have both sides pulled out, and it will be packed.
Now, do you have parents and grandparents there, and aunts and uncles?
Oh,
and
you'll
cousins?
have cousins there, maybe a next door neighbor. You know, yeah, all the grandparents will be there. All the parents will be there. But you got 180 kids that play football. So that's 180 kids I got to take pictures of right there.
That's freshman, JV, and regular.
Yeah. Yep, 3 teams. And they introduce them by their grade. Yeah,
I can hear you. I'm just.
It's it's just a pain in the tail. The long day. I feel my age tomorrow. I can't tell you that, Cool Cat, because I've got pictures right now that are almost 10 years old, and I'm almost ready to purge some of them because it's like, I don't know. very seldom somebody from 4 or 5 years ago will want a picture. The only time that they're like a historical picture for somebody that's playing in the NFL or somebody like that. I have a few of them. Like there's one kid right now, the kid right behind me, right here, in that picture right behind me, up in the top, the blue and white, Nate Shepard. He will play in the NFL. He will make a name for himself in the NFL. That's how good he is. If he stays healthy, he will make money. I have some pictures of him that will be priceless. I think the best picture I've ever taken of him is not that one. It's him standing in the end zone last year up at Ruston, Louisiana, the semifinal game going to the state championship. And he was just standing out in the end zone, just standing and kind of staring at the field. I think that picture right there is probably I'll find it and show y'all. I think it's the best picture I've ever taken of him. It was a pregame picture of him just standing out there because they needed a pregame picture of him because he was like the heart and soul of the team last year. He told the coaches in the playoffs, put this on my shoulders, I'll carry it. And he almost did. The coaches, if they hear this, they're gonna hate me, but the coaches screwed up.
Yeah, when you go to use it,
Coaches
the room in the corner.
didn't call the game like they should have.
Tires are gonna go, because I just threw peanuts on, I don't wanna crush them all, you know? I'm back.
This is the picture. This is
I
this is
must
the
have had,
picture I think.
I must have had 35 squirrels out there.
Yeah, that's the picture of Nate standing out in the middle of the field, looking across the field last year. I think that
Wow.
might be the best picture because that says a lot because that's the semifinal game going to the playoffs, going to the champ. If they win, they go to the Dome for the championship. And that was before the game. He was just standing there, and I snapped the picture. And that's the one they led with, talking about him in the playoffs. But I think that picture is better than him catching the ball that I won first place with. I just think that says 1,000 things because he's looking at what it can be. Because Ruston wins. They in the last like 8 years, they've won the state championship like 5 times. So it's like you got to get through them, and he knew it, and they did their best.
Now, is he going to college?
He goes to it's either Vanderbilt or Colorado. He actually leaves in December, and he'll be with the team in December. And his brother right now moved from Vanderbilt. Will Shepard went to Vanderbilt to Colorado, and I think he graduates this year, so he's coming in a year behind his brother. Yeah, he's coming in a year behind his brother.
Wow, they sound like they're quite the football family.
Oh, this kid, that's the kid in this picture, right? The picture behind me that caught that championship catch. That one I won first place with. Yeah, I got pictures of him. He's like, let's see. Yeah, he's the kind of guy that when he's running with the ball, he'll run right past you.
Really?
Oh yeah. They've actually played him both ways, offense and defense, in games, and he's made an impact both ways. See something. And this is the other thing. And his mom, will never buy pictures.
Really?
Never.
What, because everybody's giving them pictures
Well,
or?
that's what they feel like they can get them for free. I don't give them.
No, because
like,
your paying customers, they'd be pissed if they thought you were giving away to some people
yeah.
and not others. And
now I'll give you this picture I just won the championship with. The mom, the first time she'll buy the picture of him, like a $20 package at picture day just to get a picture. The action shot she'll never buy. Maybe one or two. She just did $100 order.
wow.
That shocked the hell out of me. Of last year's pictures, I took, and she did not order the picture that we won the money. I won the first place with. I don't know if she overlooked it, missed it, or what. And all she orders is 4x6s.
So are you going to include that?
I did.
Okay.
I sent it in. I gave her that one because I don't know if she didn't want it or missed it, but I'm giving it to Nate at least.
Sure.
You know, because that's what I'll do. Is if it's a spectacular play, like I had a kid last year, Nate Gidry. He caught one that opened the game up, and that's what started the win. And it was across the field. He's a little short guy. He's one of the shortest guys on the team, but he's got the biggest heart. And I mean, and they paid me for the pictures. They paid the $250 for the year. And I caught him across the field. And it was in high school, the field is, you never know what you're going to get. It's like a box of chocolates. It could be dark on one corner of the field and your settings just suck. And when I caught him on the other side of the field, I snapped the thing. It was a hair out of focus. And when I got home, I mean, it looked perfect in my camera. When I got home, I looked at it and I said, "You got to be kidding me!" Like this, what it did is it focused on the girl on the sidelines behind him. That's what the camera picked up. So I took it and I said, "Let me look at these later," because I had the sequence of him diving in the end zone and everything. So I went back and I took the picture and I put it all on an 8x10, like 4 pictures together, and made them smaller and got him back in focus. So I gave him, I put the picture out as an 8x10 and gave him an 8x10. Because they wouldn't have won if he wouldn't have started that play. But you just don't know. It could be somebody on the sideline that'll be out there right next to the player when I'm focusing. I got a perfect focus on the player. And when that back button may all of a sudden shift over the shoulder and catch the one behind, because they might be a little bit brighter. And that's all it comes down to. What's being seen the most? Where's everybody? Oh, Mark's got a doctor's appointment today, don't he?
Yeah.
Did you say that?
Everybody's got something going on, and that happens. Life happens. About the time you think you've got things planned out, something comes up.
Okay, Meet the Skippers. Yes, last year, 265 pictures.
Wow.
So I got that to look forward to.
Meet the Skippers.
Yeah. I just glanced at it and saw many. I don't even want to look to see who was there.
Well, back when they used to have basketball here at our community college, St. Clair County Community College, they were called the Skippers too. But they don't have that anymore. They don't have any sports.
Just give you another example. This is shot from the side of Nate jugging a guy out near the end of a play, going into the end zone. The guy is going to his knees. Nature's running around.
Wow.
I mean, he's agile. I mean, he'll put a head fake on you and you wind up going to your knees. And then he'll run right through you too. He'll do both.
Well, is there anybody else on right now? Do you know?
Nobody's on.
No, there isn't anybody on.
Nobody's on. It just everybody doing their own thing. Justin probably sleeping.
Oh
He
yeah,
probably
I'm
was on
sure
late.
he was probably up most of the night, right?
Last night around 10:30, he was off. Only person on was Jason, unless he was on with Jason. So Trump came on yesterday and he's trying to schedule 4 debates with Harris. I bet you $100 she does one.
If that.
She's got to do one. She don't do one, it's worse.
Hey, Donald, how's it going?
Howdy.
Donald.
Just most of my gear is packed. I'm going. I just remembered. I better get a copy of the scripts on my phone. I got it on my iPad, but I thought, have an extra copy of the script. So I'm doing that.
Script. You're not gonna wing it.
Well, I think the creator sends him script, right?
And no, yesterday was enough for this week. Showing up, not knowing what's going on, and then making something happen.
That was cool yesterday. I like that with that girl.
Yeah,
Did you get?
She was quite the little model, I tell you.
Yep, she did good. Did you get that picture put up full screen from behind you that Cool Cat was asking about?
No, I didn't.
was
What
that?
picture?
Cool Cat likes that picture that's behind your shoulder, the tackle, midair tackle, and he wanted you to make it full screen if you
Oh,
could.
you want a full screen?
Hold on. I I was reading and I went to something else.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. I'll get the picture up. I know right where it's at. I'm actually in the folder over here. Where is Walker? Walker. Who's licking my leg? Cleo comes over here and she licks me on the leg, wants to let me know I'm here. That's what she's doing. She's saying, I'm down here, by the way.
Cleo just wants you to know how much she loves you.
Yeah. Here you go, cool cat. That the one, cool cat? Yeah, that was, like I said, that picture, sometimes you get lucky. Because I knew he was coming across the middle. I didn't even look through the viewfinder. I had the focal point right. As he went up and the ball was thrown, I just turned and I followed the ball. That's what I did. I followed the ball with my eyes and I had my hand on the trigger. And as I came across, right as it got to him, as it was getting him, I pressed it. That gave that delay second for him to catch it. I was hoping to get his hands reaching out for it, but he caught it. And when I looked at that, I didn't see the guy underneath him. That was the thing. All I saw was him go up. But the guy underneath him was what made the picture, and the guy grabbing him by the legs. Yep.
That's a great picture.
I'll get that's what you want to see. I'll get that. Hold on.
He wants to know what the certificate is about. You might explain about your award.
Yeah, I'm going to show it. I got to find it. I got it over here. I got to remember where I put it. Hold on. Yeah, I shoot for the newspaper. So what they do is every year they take the pictures. They look at the pictures they think are the best pictures, and they submit them in to the best newspaper contest for the different pictures. And
that's for
that
a whole
one won.
State, or is that a regional?
That's state. That one won first place. And it's won first place, Division III. That one, cool cat. There's a certificate. It's for last year's first place, best sports photo, Division III. And that's the size of the newspaper. But I've won third place, second place, third place, second place. And I told them last year when I said, y'all submit that picture, I don't win, I quit. And when he called me up the day it came out, he sent it to me and he says, I guess you're not quitting. So. Yeah, I knew that picture, but the picture the year before, I think they had a shot at winning. Came in third place.
So Donald, what time do you have to head out today?
We moved the shoot till 2 o'clock.
Oh,
So
that's cool.
The shoot take a couple hours. I'll be heading back around 6, but I need to head out around noon if I want to really cut it close.
Between 11:30 and 12.
Yeah, I want to leave between 11 and 11:30.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a 2-hour drive, but and the longer the drive, the more leeway I like to give myself.
Sure.
Just in case.
It's better to be a little early than it is to be late. Cause then you start scrambling. It's like, what did I, or should I, what?
Yes, sir.
Hey,
And,
cool cat.
And I was upset. I'm going to be in Bartlesville, and I know that there's a hotel that Frank Lloyd Wright designed in the middle of downtown Bartlesville. And so I was like, I can put the drone up. No, no flying in that area. So
That's the picture I shot the year before that went in 3rd place. I thought that had 1st place shot. Third place.
yep, if it wasn't for that tripod or whatever that is in the background by their
Well,
feet,
it must be in a stadium, and that must be, where it's up, and then it's. And
That's the guy filming the game.
tripod, somebody's
Yeah.
sitting behind.
yeah, if it wasn't for that down by the feet and all his gear,
Yeah, but the bottom line is this: that shouldn't make a difference.
Yeah, but
It
with a little
shouldn't, but
bit
it
of
does.
AI, you could wipe that all out and make it black behind it.
And
yeah,
I can't remember where I could find the picture that won. The picture that won was a offensive line getting knocked all over the place, and one of the running backs or the quarterback coming through, and one of the guys is on the ground. He's stepping over him. It's the busiest picture you ever seen in your life, horizontal, won 1st place.
mm. And it all comes
Which-
down to the taste in the moment as well.
Oh no,
For
it all
those
came
sports.
down to Louisiana voted on their own pictures.
Mm.
And what they would do is all the northern Louisiana people that have the most people voted for the pictures in their region.
I've seen that happen.
Mine this year
Yeah.
went to Mississippi. Mississippi voted for him.
Yep, I used to enter a few awards whenever we at the old place. They stopped doing that years ago, but I never kept any of my awards except for one. And I think oddly enough that was for the place I shot yesterday. But I've won locally quite a few, and regionally I won a few, but I never kept them because they're just kind of monuments to the past,
Yep.
Paul, you asleep?
No, I'm reading something.
Oh. Yeah.
It's always good to get the recognition, but it's like it's not gonna make me or break me,
Yeah.
Right. It's good for the recognition and you like to be appreciated. But awards to take home, that things I kind of wish I'd kept a few of them.
I was putting stuff in the closet yesterday. My son brought back out of storage, and I put the box in that said trophies. That I had to put on my shoulder to pick up to put up. That's how heavy it is. All the trophies that I have boxed up. I have no place to put them. There's no need to put them anywhere. Between dart trophies and bowling trophies and all of that. It's just those are things from the past. But there was one thing that I did that my son, it was funny. My son Nick was sitting over on the sofa when I got the final word on. Let me find it for you. I got the final word on this, and I'm sitting here looking at it, and he looks over at me and he says, "Are you tearing up?" And then, yep. He says, "Why are you tearing up?" I said, "Because this means more to me than a lot of things I do. Because this focused on me. It didn't focus on football and like that, I'm trying to find it.
Yeah. You had a chance to pat yourself on the back.
Yeah, I said, that's what it was. And it was something that focused on what I had been doing for 50, but at the time it was 45 years. Is it 21,
You've been doing that for 45 years?
50 years.
50. Holy crap.
This is my 50th year. Started,
Alan, do you believe
started at
that?
19. I'm 69, 19 years old.
He's been doing those sports pictures for 50 years.
Yep.
No wonder he needs a lot of gigabytes, terabytes.
Yeah, I got a lot of terabytes.
What do you think, Donald, is going to be the designation for beyond terabytes?
There isn't one. There is
Petabyte.
one.
Petabytes?
I believe petabyte is the next step up.
I figured if anybody knew, you would know.
I might be wrong, but I think petabyte goes after
So
tera.
1,000 terabytes is about the highest it'll go, and then they'll go into another designation.
Yeah, it goes up by order of magnitude. Yeah. Yes. Petabyte is the next one up.
Yeah, this is it right here. When I got the proof of what he was doing in the magazine, this is the thing that I was sitting over here and I teared up. When he did this, it was Arthur Hardy does the magazine right here
Yeah.
every year. It was the 45th annual Arthur Hardy's Mardi Gras guide. And it said, personalities, Joe Trompetor, Mardi Gras photographer extraordinaire. And then he did a little story. And it was a 2-page article. And when he did that, I just sat here and I was tearing up. And Nick says, "Are you tearing up? What a wimp." Like that. I said, "No, it's an accomplishment that I've done Mardi Gras for so many years." I said, "I'm glad that I'm finally recognized with it like this, with him, because he's the main guy, 45th annual that he's done."
That's a
and then
long time to be doing what you do.
Yeah, he's still doing them. This is 2021. He's still doing them, but he sold the Mardi Gras guide to another company that is he's working with them for 2 more years. So I think 26 is his last year. Then he's retiring. But this guy is a good guy to know. And that's on the back wall. He gave me a 16 by 20 matted out picture of it. But that was something that meant something to me because it validated what I did. That's how I look at it. I wasn't just taking pictures.
You got some great pictures in that too.
Thank you. But it's just
it's like
work
they
hard
always
at it.
say, Donald, be all you can be. No matter what you're doing in life, be the best you can be.
Well, shit, I'm not doing that.
Yeah, you are. I saw that yesterday, Donald.
Yeah.
I tell you what, you did a lot of that yesterday. That girl
Yep.
did a lot of it.
Sure did.
They hit those marks every time. Because I mean,
Yeah, and
you
it
got
wasn't like you had a great big crew there helping you. It
Nope.
was just you.
I was thinking
and-
about that when I was setting up yesterday. I was like, man, I miss working with a group, working with a team,
Yeah.
because for something like that, it would be like, okay, I'm gonna block this shot while somebody else sets up the camera. Someone
Yep.
else grabs a light or a reflector, and
And then you always have an assistant there watching to make sure everything's going
well, it
right.
wasn't really we never played assistant. We had a primary shooter, secondary shooter,
Okay.
but it was never like one person is in charge, because especially towards the end when it was just 2 of us locally, we had worked together so long that we could trust the other person to get the job needed done
Well,
what needed
if
done. So.
once you work together a long time like a team,
Mm-hmm.
the team members all know what's happening and what's going to happen and what should happen, you know?
Mm-hmm. And you'd have a second set of eyes there, so you always miss something, and have somebody else sitting there saying, "What if we did this?" Oh yeah, that would work.
Yeah.
Paul, I'll tell you what it really means is up to about 4 years ago. If you came in this, I've been here 16 years in this apartment. Up until I think it was 5 years ago, the only pictures I had up in this apartment were a couple of pictures of my kids. I didn't have any pictures of mine up, nothing. Then one day I made it like a little office and said, you know what? I'm putting some stuff up. And I started putting some pictures I shot different. I used to sell a line, I still sell them, a line of pictures called Living Word Images. That it's the scripture on different local pictures.
Mm.
And I was working at a Christian bookstore and we used to sell them there. I used to have people come in and they look at it and love the picture and say, is there any way to change the verse and put this verse on it? Sure, you can do it. And I'd make it up for them. And Anthony Campo, the guy that owned the store, we almost went national with it. He wanted to go national with the chain that he belonged to, and they weren't adding anything else to the chain. He went with another group, and the other group, we were right at the end of going national with these pictures. We were trying to figure out how we were going to do the production. That was what we were worried about, because we were going to have to send out to, I think it was 800 stores nationwide.
Mm-hmm.
And
So
he told me,
shopping
so
printers
we'll
or
well, it was cheaper for me just to get them printed,
yeah.
just to get them printed and we mat them some kind of way. And it wasn't hard to mat them. You just get a double tape gun, run it on the mat, put the picture there, and stick them together and put it in an envelope. But it's time consuming.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what we were trying to figure out how we were going to do it. And he said, well, about the money involved, we'll hire 2 people to sit in the back and you could supervise them and watch them as they do it, and then we'll box them up for you, have the pictures in different boxes. That's the way we were going to set it up to where we had 25 pictures, and they were going to be either 8x10s matted, 5x7 matted 8x10, or 4x6 matted 5x7, and have them all in there. And you get an order, they just go pick the pictures, mat them, box them, send them to that store, and that's how we were going to do it. And he said, it'd be worth paying somebody to do these. You'll be here working for me, doing your stuff, and you can make sure they're doing it right, which he said, and I'll double check them too. He said, but the money was there. And Anthony Campo was one of his visionaries. He put in what he expected, and it was big money. And they kept changing specs on us, kept changing stuff on us. And Anthony said, you know what? It's gonna be too hard to do, the way they changing all of this. So we fooled with it for about a year, and he said, let's sell them here. Just sell them in the store, and then we'll see how we're doing. And we were selling them pretty good in the store. Then it was about a year and a half later, that's when they started talking recession and all that crap. And then his store just started, losing money. We didn't get the same people in all the time. And he came in one day and everybody sat there, and he told me to sit down a minute, just wait. And I said, okay. So his wife walked in, he says, I hate to tell you this. He said, because you're not just an employee, you're a friend. He said, I got to downsize, and you're the only person on salary. Because I was on salary, everybody else was hourly. Mm-hmm. And he said, I could do the warehouse work that you're doing, because all I was doing was checking in gear and working the floor. And he said, I don't know how to even tell you that. I said, I understand. That's
and the
business,
first thing you do is cut your fixed costs. You need to variable costs are one thing.
Knock the big stuff out. And if I was a store manager, he might have kept me, But he had a store manager that was on salary. She probably made more than me, but that was his store manager that ran it for 15 years, you know? And he wasn't going back into that position. He could do the warehouse position. But I live right next door to where the store was. I used to walk to the store in the morning. It was easy. I didn't have to even drive. And he'd call me up and he'd say, "What you doing?" Because he knew that I was working out the house. And he said, "What are you doing next week?" I said, "What do you mean?" He said, "I'm gonna be gone for a week. Can you work for a week?" I said, "Sure." And he'd pay me my salary rate, you know. So when he had to go somewhere and he couldn't be there, I went in and took over. I did that for about 2 years. And then he called me up one day and he said, "Yep, we're losing so much money, I'm gonna shut it down." He said, it's not the same anymore. He said, "Let's shut it down." He said, he got it all online now. He became an insurance agent. He's actually my insurance agent. And he called me in when they were doing all the shutdown. He got a storage unit next door. They got a storage unit right next to us over here. And all the shelving, he didn't want to get rid of everything, just in case. He's got it in storage. We moved stuff over, all his machinery got put in the storage. Everything's over there. He can go in there because he can do imprinting on all the leather goods and everything. And it's all set up in there. So all he's got to do is go over there and he can do it there and leave. He's got to do an imprinting or something. But it was Anthony Campo. It was Campo Appliances. His dad was the appliance giant in New Orleans for years. And his dad knew my sister real good because my sister was a bartender at Que Pasa Lounge. And I'd go sit there and Anthony Campo would come in. Tony Campo would come in. And I met him when I was like 18. And he'd be sitting there drinking with us. And he'd say, "I'm hungry. And he had a real raspy voice. He said, "I'm hungry. Let's go to Denny's." He would get in his Cadillac, go to Denny's. And he'd feed us, you know. And that was ironic because I started working for his son, about 40 years later. I told him stories about his dad. He didn't have a clue. Let me tell you what his dad did. Dad bought a brand new Cadillac. Loved Cadillacs. Brand new. He said, "I'm going to trade this one in. I'm getting a new one." I can't remember. It was like 1974. Drove up, beautiful Cadillac. We went to Denny's and ate. It was myself, my sister, Candy, one of the waitresses, and Tony. We leave, and Candy said, "You gonna give me a ride home in a Cadillac?" He was sure, because it was about a mile away. On the way there, she gets sick and throws up in the Cadillac. Next day he comes back, he's got a different Cadillac. I said, "What happened to the other one?" "Candy threw up in it. I didn't want it anymore." That was the kind of money he had, the kind of pull he had. He brought it back, said, "Somebody threw up in it, can I switch it out?" Muted. Yeah, that's the kind of money he had.
Because it's hard to understand people that have real money. You know, they don't.
He had real money.
Yeah, real money. They think different than the average person, and the average person could never truly understand it because they didn't experience it.
Yeah, when he heard I was going into the Marine Corps, he was sitting there one night at the bar, and I used to go to my sister's bar 3 days a week and sit there and drink. My sister used to try to get me drunk. And we sit there, and he was sitting there one night. He said, "So why are you going to the Marines?" I said, "Well, they called me up. I passed the thing for the band. I'll go in the band." He said, "That's pretty cool." He said, "When you leave?" I said, "I'll leave in July." And this was like in May. The next time he came back, he comes walking in there. He says, "You're leaving a couple of weeks, right?" I said, "A few weeks. July 3rd is when I leave." I said, "Independence Day, I'm not independent anymore." Like that. That was my big joke about it, right? So he says, "Yeah, I got something for you." He slides me an envelope. And that's in 1974. He said, "Don't just spend this on anything. I'd recommend you put it in the bank and save. Start saving now." Opens up $1,000.
Wow.
Just handed me $1,000. That was very, very nice.
Yeah, in the 1970s, $1,000. Hell, you could buy a new car for $2,000.
Yeah, 74. I bought a brand new Chevy Vega for 2,700.
Yeah.
Brand new Chevy Vega cost me $27.95. Bought it from Tom Benson, that became the owner of the New Orleans Saints when he was at Mike Persia Chevrolet. He was the general manager over there. Al Montagne was the salesman my dad grew up with. That he just talking about a car salesman. You sit there and he says, "Yeah, you like it? Yeah, okay. How much cash you got? How much cash you got to put down? How much cash?" That's all you hear from. "I don't have nothing to put down." "Well, you got to have some cash." That's the old school. I got over him on him in 1984. I got over on him. I had a check in my hand to buy a brand new Celebrity station wagon. We knew the price exactly. I said, "Give me the exact price. I'm getting it from Navy Federal. I got to have the exact check for you." So that was my loan. I had the check in my hand. All I had to do was sign it over to them. I pull in because I came back from Hawaii. We met him on Airline Highway at Bryan Chevrolet. Al says, "Yeah." He said, "I heard you're going to pay cash." I go, "Yeah, I got it right now." He goes, "Yeah." He said, "I didn't know if you were really interested in that because I got another car you might have liked." I said, "Yeah, what is it?" He said, "I know you got a family and I know you need a bigger car. Just a bigger car." I said, "Well, give me a hint." He said, "It's a Malibu station wagon. It's like 2 years old." I said, "Yeah, but I want a new one." He says, "It's like new. Come look at it." So we went and looked at it. It was like brand new. It had like 20,000 miles on it.
Mm-hmm.
It had been in Hawaii. That was the funny part about where I came from. It got shipped in and they sold it. It had a dent in a door where it got damaged, and it was documented it was damaged in
In
shipping,
transport.
being transported. Somebody hit the door and they said, "We're going to fix it like this." And the paint was Hawaii paint. It was getting faded because all the sun and everything. He said, "We're going to paint it for you. What color you want? We'll paint it for you and everything." I said, "It's going to start peeling if you paint it." He said, "No, we're going to do a good job on it." I said, "If it starts peeling in 2 years, I'm coming back." And he says, "Yeah, I'll give you this at a good price." He said, "I thought about you," because it said Hawaii on the back. So we looked at it, had it tested. My cousin looked at he's a mechanic, checked it out. He said, "Man, this car's good." And I looked at him, I said, "What do y'all want for it?" Like that. Now I was getting ready to pay about $15,000 for the Celebrity wagon. It was like 14.6 or something like this. Check in my hand. He says, "Well, we're looking at 5,000 for it." He said, "We'll give it to you for 45 and we'll do the work." They had a little rip in the seat. I said, "You're going to fix the seat?" He said, "What do you want me to do? Cut my wrist? You want the blood too?" I said, "I want my, if I buy it from you, I want the seat fixed." I said, "Y'all got a leather guy?" He says, "Yeah, we got a leather guy. I'll get him to stitch it up." Like that. I said, "Okay." 4,500. He says, "Yeah." I said, "Okay, that's good. I'll take it." I said, let me bring it home and show the wife, make sure she likes it." Drove it home. She said, "Yeah, I like this. What about it's all getting fixed. It's going to look like brand new." She says, "Well, it's up to you." I said, "Well, I think this is better because it gives us a lot more room." I said, "And this big 8-cylinder engine is going to be better." Brand new tires. Everything was brand new. They had brand new tires on it, the whole works. Went back and said, yeah, when you'll have it ready? He said, it'll be about 3 days. I said, okay, 3 days, I'll be back. We go in there to sign the papers. The guy's writing everything down, putting the total figure. I said, let's finance it. He goes, you're not gonna pay cash? I said, no. I want to finance it. Because I could have paid cash right then, right? And he goes, well, how much cash you got? I said, I don't have any cash. I got this check here and I can't cash it down and give it to you. I said, I had this plans all set up later, so let's finance it 100%. I said, my credit's good. I think, and he said, well, what do you want, 1, 2 years? I said, do 4. He said, 4. I said, I don't even like the celebrity anymore. That's what I told him. He goes, oh man, you're bending me over. And I said, that's the deal. And I got up, they talked a second, came back, said, okay, we'll finance it. It came out to my note was like $87, like that, $87. And I was messing with him because I was going to pay for it. And I was messing with him, signed all the papers, picked up the car 3 days later. It was beautiful. And he said, man, I tell you, you got over on me on that one. He said, because I was looking forward to the whole cash payment, get it over with. I said, nope. I said, I figured they had 10 years to get over, figure out how to get over on you.
Yeah, but Joe, he was BSing you about he makes more money when it's cash. No, because whoever is financing it pays him a stipend and he gets the money. So
yeah, he got money. I said, that's what I told him. I said, you're making money on this. I said, you're a friend anyway. And my dad's falling out in the back. And it was like $87. And I paid it off like in about 6 months. It wasn't a deal.
Sure.
But it was like, but I was on vacation and I didn't want to spend any money. That was my thing. I was going to be home for 35 days, 40 days. So we had the World's Fair going on. And then I was driving up to New Bedford, Mass, and everything else. So I had all that time that I had to use my money. You know, I was getting paid in the Marine Corps, but it wasn't the point. So when we got settled finally, I divided it out in like 5 checks and just wrote checks. But that was that car. You talking about with 2 kids, a dog, and a wife, and loaded down going across country. It looked like Christmas vacation. It was a nice car. On vacation, not Christmas vacation, just vacation. Yeah, the ex got it. The ex got the car in a divorce. I kept my car. I bought another car later, and she got it. And she was in New Orleans and got in an accident on Canal and Harrison Avenue. Car came across an intersection in a red light, ran a red light. Kids were in the back of the car. It hit right behind the kids, ripped the car, tore the car in half. I saw pictures of it where the back seat was sitting there, the kids buckled into the seat. Other piece of the car was on the side, and the car that hit it was like all mangled up. Hit it that hard.
wow.
I got Cleo laying here next to me. She's on the floor, on her back, wide open. You know, that's nasty.
She's laying there dreaming, I'm free. I'm free.
She always does that. She's wide open. And she got all that hair on her. She opens up like that to get cool. That's a big stretch. Yeah, I'm surprised Justin ain't popped in.
Oh, he's probably playing Fortnite, isn't he?
Good day.
I would imagine he's playing Fortnite with
Laura.
Laura and friends. Donald, are you going to be starting playing more Fortnite?
I don't play Fortnite.
I don't
No,
either.
no.
Neither does Joe.
I was in the Marines. I don't need to play Fortnite.
Oh, I.
I keep forgetting it. I need the Apple mouse to go to the Apple computer. Keep saying, why this thing won't go over there? I might have to do that mouse without borders and work off of one keyboard. So they got that new Costco opening up, right? So I went on Costco and I looked at the membership stuff. Now I'm getting emails and it says, don't forget to renew your membership. I've never had a membership.
Yeah, but if you did.
22. Well, this has so far been the hottest month we've had this year. And I've been setting my air conditioner all month on 73. Last year I set it on 76 like that most of the time. The 76 was cool, but 73 is a little more comfortable to me. And I was getting nervous about what the bill's going to be. It only went up $20. I could live with $20 more for the comfort like this.
Mm-hmm. Well, I'm glad that we have cool weather right now. Our air conditioner broke down yesterday.
Oh,
I think it's the fan on the air handler. I opened it up, and when I put the fan on auto, it'll start to spin and then die. So I think it's the run cap that's not. I think we've blown a run cap. Either
Yeah.
the run cap is dead or the motor is dead. I'm hoping it's just a run cap. That's a really cheap fix.
You fixing it or somebody?
I'll probably have somebody fix it. I've done work on them before. My dad used to do air conditioning,
Yeah.
and so I've picked up a little bit. But if I start monkeying with it and it turns out it's not the run cap, it's something else, then
You rather have
it
somebody
could
else doing it.
it could be the reversal coil. I don't think it's that though. But out on a heat pump, you have a reversal coil to switch it from which direction it's going for heating and cooling.
Yeah.
I don't think it's that. But that could cause if it is not working, it could be killing the entire system. So it starts to fire up and it's just like, wait. But the fact that the motor will sit there and try and work and then down. Because there's on the motors, there's two capacitors: the run capacitor and the start capacitor.
Yep.
And technically, it could be a weak start capacitor not getting up to the run point, but it is getting it started and spinning. So I don't think it's that.
I hope it's nothing serious.
Well, it's not gonna be. It probably won't be anything serious, but fact that it happens in August. Of course, that's when air conditioners break down. Is when it's hot. Things break
Yeah.
down when you're using it. Your heater's
It
gonna
was-
break down when it's cold because that's when you're using it.
It was the year before, not last year, the year before. I was telling them, y'all need to come fix this coil. It's leaking. Y'all know it's leaking. And it's summertime like that. I said, y'all need to come fix it before it gets hot. And it went out. And I called them and said, well, you told us to wait. I said, don't start with me. I said, come get it done. So they had a new coil. It was on a Friday when it happened. So they ordered a coil. Thank God they had a portable air conditioning unit. And they had to bring us one of the rolls, one of the big ones. And you got to have a vent. And everything is, you can't get to a window in the bedrooms because of where everything's situated.
Mm-hmm.
You know, because my camera box box one, my son's bed blocked the other one. He couldn't really just sit in there. So I wound up putting a vent through the dog door over here in the living room. So I said, I'm gonna be in here more than I'm gonna be in the back. At nighttime, I had the fan blowing, shooting the cool air down the hall. So that was at least, it kept us cool at night, you know.
I saw on the internet the other day where somebody had put their air conditioner into their fireplace. Yeah, that would work, ish.
It kind of would work.
It kind of work. You heat up back there.
Depends on the airflow.
You're gonna heat up out there. You're gonna have a lot of problems dispersing that heat on the outside.
It would kind of work.
But it worked for them for a while.
Yeah, if it's no longer a fireplace, you can always go to the other side and make a hole. Yeah. That'd be hilarious. I had a fireplace in the house I bought when I got here,
Mm-hmm.
and I had that sucker lit up one day. It was cold outside, and I had that thing lit. I mean, it was lit, and it got me nervous. That's how hot it was. I actually went and got the hose outside and put it on the deck. Went outside and felt the wall. I wanted to feel it, see how hot it was going up. And it had me nervous about 30 minutes till it calmed down.
Mhm.
I had flames going up into it.
When I first moved to this neighborhood, I walked around the block and somebody had just started up there. Yeah. Fireplace for the year. And I'm walking along. I see sparks flying out of this chimney where the creosote had caught on fire. And they were
Yeah.
throwing sparks all over their roof.
Yeah, I was throwing sparks that day. That's what caught my attention. And I
Mhm.
had sparks flying out of there. It looked like fireworks.
Yeah. That creosote, it builds up, and then when it catches fire,
Yeah, chimney fires are no fun.
mm-mm.
Yeah, like I said, I had that hose ready to go. I was out in the cold for 30 minutes till it calmed down. And I said, okay, you don't put 4 logs on it. Don't do it. 4 logs are a bunch of little pieces. Don't do it.
Well, they sell logs that are supposed to break down creosote that you can burn in,
Yeah.
and instead of going up and actually sweeping the chimney. I don't know how they work or how well they work.
I put them in. I've tried it before. They said you're supposed to do it about every like once a year. I think you only use.
Hmm. Does it keep the crease? Yeah. Does it knock it out?
I couldn't tell you because 2 or 3 weeks later, I have sparks coming out of it.
We build maybe 3 fires a year. I like to have a fire going around Christmas. Maybe Thanksgiving, but Thanksgiving usually warms up here. We get a second warm spell.
We'll look through something here and see. See if we got this picture. I don't even know where it would be. It's gonna be in older family pictures. Not now.
Oh,
Not that one. Yeah, I got a picture of Justin when he was a baby. The fireplace was hot, was going, and he's standing in front of the with his diaper on and his shirt up to feel the heat. Not that one. That'd be 2004. That'd be 2003. Now that's one. It's gonna be harder to find because that's a different system. There you go. So this is the fireplace. You could see how hot I had it going. And Justin, that's Justin, the police officer's son. I got standing there in front of it, feeling the heat. And Paul left. I wanted Paul to see that one.
That's a good picture.
That's Justin, my police officer's son, standing in front of the fireplace, getting his heat on.
Well, what you do is you go to AI, you take that picture, and you put him in a police officer's uniform with diapers.
There you go. Now you remember he wanted to be a fireman, right? That was his one thing he
Yeah.
wanted to always be.
Yep.
My sister sent him a fire truck. Okay. That's him on the ground with the fire truck when he looked at it. Okay. It took his breath away. Look at that hair. You know, but he's sitting there and he looks at it. That's the first picture, right? And then I said, you got, he called it a fire truck. Fire truck.
Fire fruck.
Yeah. And this is when he turned around to let us know he was happy.
Hmm.
That was his fire truck.
Was that a
but my
Tonka?
kids,
What was that, Tonka, or what was that?
Yeah,
it
it
was
looks
a
like
Tonka
Tonka.
fire truck. Yeah. But my kids would be watching television, right? This is the way they watch television. This is the two brothers.
Yep. I watched television a lot like that when I was a kid.
Yep. That was what they did. And that was my den. Okay. My den was 15 by 25 at the house. Here you go. We used to go fishing a lot, right? That's all white trout. We went that morning fishing, caught all them white trout, brought them back. Laid them out for a fishing picture.
I need to go find my coffee. I'll be back.
But Nick's best day fishing was right here. He caught this. That's the Marine Corps son.
Oh,
I'll be honest with you. It looks like a redfish, but it's also like a bull croaker. I didn't see the spot. So it was probably, it could have been a black drum. It didn't have any markings to give it away.
yeah.
You know, it was one of the three. I think it was more redfish because of the color. It just didn't have the spot yet. But he caught that fish, and it almost pulled him in the water.
No kidding.
Yeah, you know, I had to hold the pole while he reeled it in, and we had caught a little small crab. And I told him, put it on a hook. You catch a redfish. You think so? He said, I said, yeah, just drop the thing down. There's one around here to go for it. And when he caught this fish, we brought it home, we cleaned it, and we did it different. Instead of filleting it, we baked it and made some dressing on the side and all of this. And he sat there while we were eating, and he said, I feel good today, Dad. I said, why? He said, because I caught the food to feed the family. I thought that was the coolest thing. But that's the way Nick's been all his life. Like, you never have a favorite, you know, but I'm not going to tell you he is, you know. Yeah, they were a mess. The three of them together. Look, hey, Don, I don't know how this is going to make you feel, but look at the room behind them.
Oh,
I'd walk in the room and they'd have all the toys down. I said, okay, out the basket, clean it up.
Yep. That's, that's how kids play, and then it's cleanup time. Yep.
Yeah, that's
That was
one
last,
1 year, 3 years, 5 years.
What was it? Easter. I went in and it was our room upstairs that we've got all the toys for the kids was like that. It's like, all right. But I sat down in the middle of the floor, played with them for a little bit, and it's like, all right, let's see if we can start putting things away and just try to make that a game. Now, if I was a dad, I'd be like, clean this shit up. But since I'm a grandpa and a great uncle, I just sat down and played.
Yep. Yeah, my den was 15 by 25. I had one piece of carpet that went straight across, 12 by 25. That was, we had them come in and lay one solid piece. And I had black carpet in the room. I put the black in there because it was easier for stains. And then from the last 3 feet, I put ceramic tile going outside. So when you come in, you're on ceramic tile to wipe your feet. You know, do it outside and put your shoes down on the end. And we had a wraparound sofa, lazy boy set up. And then on the other side, I had a pool table I put in. And it was, it was like, and it had surround sound. You'd sit in there and, you know, when they come on, what was the one that came on that had the right in the beginning? One of the themes that showed the sound. That would come on, everything in there would vibrate. And we were far enough away from houses that you could blast that sucker and the people next door couldn't hear it. We'd be like we're in a theater. Yeah, I kind of wish she would have, instead of not telling me she wasn't paying the bill on the house, tell me, hey, I can't do the bill on the house. I'm gonna move to an apartment. You take the house. I wish she would have said that because it'd have been paid for. She didn't want it. She didn't know how to do she couldn't do the maintenance on it. And that was the big thing. She wasn't taking care of it. The boys told me, yeah, it was terrible when we left. What it looked like. I mean, when we moved in it, I got it on a bond for deed because I used to be in the mortgage business back then. I gave the guy, I think, $1,000, and we paid him $100 over his note for the first year. And he agreed to it because he wanted to get rid of it. He had to get rid of it. He couldn't afford it. So he agreed to it. When I hit my 12th payment in 11 months, I called a buddy of mine. I said, I want to refinance the house. And he said, oh, you on the title? I said, bond for deed. So you know what to do. Because what you do is on a bond for deed, you get put on title. Once you make the 12th payment, you're considered a resident of that house, according to the mortgage business. So now it's your house. And you're entitled after the 12th payment. You don't have to buy it. You could refinance it. So we went in and got the house appraised, got everything done, refinanced it, paid him off, and got 22,000 cash out. So in a year, I got 22,000 cash out, had paid for the house. The house was put in our name. And I took 10,000, went in there, redid all the carpeting, all the floors, painted all the walls. It was a completely different house. I said, just deal with it for a year. Yeah, that was bought in year 2000. It would be paid now.
Hmm.
Yeah, that's the ironic part. I was the only one that made enough money all the time to make that note. The note was, I think the note was $729. That's what we paid. That was with the insurance and everything, like $729. When she moved into an apartment afterwards, it was like she had to come up with 1,000 instead of $729, and she was having trouble. Her mama moved in with her and had to pay the difference.
Man, it's gonna be a good day today.
Yeah, it is.
Our high is gonna be 79 degrees. Feels like fall. Fall is right around the corner.
Yeah.
We're only going to 92 today, so that's a good thing.
We were hot last week, but this week
We've
cooled
been
off.
100 for 2 straight days.
We got rain coming in. We had a surprise rainstorm yesterday, and then we have rain coming in. Supposed to be this weekend. So
Yeah, I don't think they're expecting rain today. As long as it's not raining at 4 o'clock, 3 o'clock. I just need an hour outside, you know. I only need an hour. That's all I need. You know. How many ships going through today, Paul?
The one just went through, and I don't think anything else coming.
I tell you, I don't want to buy anything, but that Neo, the more I'm reading about that little Neo, it looks like it's gonna be a fun inside drone. And it looks like they're gonna have it compatible to the motion controller and the goggles. So if they're selling that, if the Flymore kit is $329, if they sell just the drone and a couple of batteries, you might be able to get it for like $2 something. Might be easy. It might be cheaper to buy the Flymore, but it's
Yeah, I would say you get a better value with the Flymore.
yeah, because they're looking at one Flymore kit with goggles. Now it doesn't make sense because the goggles they're showing look like and it looks like the Goggles 3. But then it shows goggles battery on the side, and the only one that did that was the original goggles.
Is anybody showing it for sale?
Not for sale yet.
I haven't even looked
20.
at it. I haven't seen
It's
pictures.
going to be a
or-
mini Avata. That's what it's going to
Yeah.
be. Mini Avata.
It's called a what?
Nano.
It's a Neo,
Neo.
Neo.
but it's going to be the mini Avata. That's what it's going to be. It looks just like an Avata Mini. It's 5 inches by 6 inches by 1 3/4 inches.
Yeah, I'm wondering if I don't know what market it's catered to. I don't know if it's an entry level to get people
That's what I think.
from because it's more of a toy than it is a like tool.
Well, it's got a 4K camera, and from the specs, they're thinking it's the same camera as the Avata 2.
Really?
Yeah, that's crazy. So you'll be able to get good
But
video.
But it's gonna be so small that it's not gonna be able to handle high. Well, I guess the first mini can't handle high winds either.
I don't think it's for. I think it's for inside. I think it's an indoor thing.
Maybe.
I think they're trying to set it up the way you could fly it inside, like around, like say I had that 15 by 25 den, and it's Christmas time. I could be flying around
Mhm.
for the kids, taking pictures
Yeah.
while they're opening presents. It'd be a whole new ball game. Now the flight time is only 16 minutes. A 16-minute flight time. Because that camera looks like the Avata camera. That's the mini. Different. That's a different one, Paul. Now you see that says Neo, but it showed the mini. Well, I see what they're doing. They're comparing them to the two.
Yeah. Yeah, 4K ultra stabilized camera video. Now I don't want to fly it with my phone. That's the thing. If I can't fly it with goggles, they're saying you could also fly it line of sight, but that means you got to fly with the phone. Look at the size of that. This is hand behind it.
Yeah, like I said, it's 6 inches long, 5 inches wide, and 1 3/4 inches deep.
And here they show.
It's showing everything but flying.
There's probably a base model without the extra accessories. Now, onto the standout features. The DJI Neo promises a slew of exciting capabilities. Palm takeoff and landing for easy deployment, AI subject tracking to keep your shots focused on your subject, quick shots and multiple control options to suit different user preferences.
Multiple controls, quick shots.
I really would like to get a new drone, but until I can justify it,
Yeah.
and it wouldn't be this.
Well, they're going to come out with the Air 3S too about a week later.
Yep, I was gonna say the Air 3 is
See, that's the Goggles 3.
the one that is on my radar.
And that's
But
the Motion 3. So if
maybe
you
the
work
Air
at the
3S. Mhm.
You
If
see-
they can make it backwards compatible for that, then they should be able to.
DJI too. Speaking of which, the Neo's design, especially with those propeller glides, seems to nod to the Avatar series.
Yeah, that's what they're doing. I guarantee you.
Has the potential to appeal to a wide range of users.
If they say it works with the Goggles 3 and the Motion 3, I'll buy just the drone.
This drone could be one of DJI's
See what it costs for just the drone.
That's one thing that's always bothered me. Every DJI product, you should be able to buy the latest controller and control
see it
any
flying
drone
inside?
ever created.
That's what it's for right there.
Yep.
It's for somebody, it's for a real estate guy that wants to shoot inside.
Yeah, or if you're traveling light for like a pack convention or a gathering or whatever.
That's true.
But here's what I'm wondering. You know, DJI has a history of the smaller drones being almost whisper quiet. I wonder if this is too.
I guarantee you that motor's gonna be whisper quiet because it's not gonna have the power to keep it outside. It's only 145 grams. They don't need much. I don't think it's gonna handle outside.
Yeah, the wind.
We're gonna get Marcus Crawford to fly it over Snake River Canyon. See if he gets
So
it
people
back.
come to my house and they ask me,
Yeah, I'm telling you. It's gonna be I can't wait to see because it's
It's
supposed to
gonna be
come out on the 20th.
Yeah.
I want to see how many people because they're gonna do Drone Nation's gonna do a live on the 20th when they debut. Oh, Marcus Crawford said that he's going to Best Buy and camp out and go in there when it opens. He'd do better just ordering online and getting it that day. That's what I did with the
If you
Avata.
order online, do you get it by the 20th?
Well, if it's on site, because when they said when they were doing the Avata 2 last year, remember? I was sitting there looking over it. I was watching their show and looking at it, and they said it's at Best Buy. I said Best Buy because I have a credit card on Best Buy, and you get all kinds like 18 months same as cash, stuff like that. So I looked over on Best Buy, and it said they had one left at the store. And I looked at it, and it said 12 months same as cash. I went, buy it. I bought it. So when they got off the show, I ran over there. I mean, on the show, I actually commented, yeah, it's at Best Buy here. I'm picking it up at 10 o'clock. Johnny said, wait a minute. Captain Joe's buying it? I said, 10 o'clock. Because Johnny had bought one. Marcus had bought one. Ron was buying one, everybody. At 10 o'clock, I had it, and I had the video up that day. And I was probably the first one up with a video other than the people that got them free. I had my video up right off the bat. As soon as I charged it up and got it set up. Now that drone sleeps with the fishes.
No, Michael, I don't mind the proprietary stuff that they do. I think though that having a different controller for every single drone is ridiculous. I think they should have a universal controller.
I'm with you. You see, that's another thing, Don. I got the RC Pro, right? I can fly the Mini 3, the Air 2S, the Mavic 3, all with it. But I can't fly an Avata with it because they won't, and I can't do the Air 3 or the Mini 4 because OcuSync 4 is OcuSync 3. But they backdated. This is what gets me. The Avata, regular Avata now, the Avata 2, that's OcuSync 4, will work with the Integra goggles, which is OcuSync 3. So if you could take OcuSync 4 and back it to the goggles
Mm-hmm.
and work with those goggles, why can't you take the Air
Money.
3,
The answer is
Yeah.
always money.
the Air 3, and let's OcuSync 4, and let me fly it with the RC Pro. Because you see, I would give up my Air 2S and go to the Air 3S. it'd be basically the same drone with more sensors, and it flies more like a Mavic 3 because I've flown both Johnny's and mine. My Mavic 3 flies just like the Mavic 3. If I could fly it with the smart control, mine, not having to buy, not using the RC2. So give me that break and I'll do it, you know. But I would definitely. But if they can do one, they can do them all. You can't tell me. And that's what Hot Rod keeps saying. It's only a frequency. Should be capable. And originally they said that the Air 3 would be compatible with the RC Pro. Lon and them had said that. And then Lon came back and said, no, they have an issue with it. So they're not going to do it. No, the issue is they're not going to, because they're talking about making an RC Pro Plus. And I'm not going to spend $1,200 on a controller that's only going to fly 3 drones when I already have one that does that. I'm at the
Okay.
point where if they're not going to backtrack it, I'd rather go buy another refurbished Mavic 3. That way I've got a backup Mavic 3 and I've already got my Air 2S, you know, because I've got the controller.
Cool,
You're
cool,
right.
cool.
All about money.
Yep. Well, I drug my feet, but I now can accept credit cards.
Oh, you accept credit card.
I drug my feet. Like, give me cash, give me whatever. I'm gonna have to.
Well, you know, if you accept like a Visa debit card from their account,
Mhm.
I don't think you have to pay any fees. It just comes right straight in the amount.
Through which
Like a
processor?
Visa debit card.
Yeah.
And you attach it to your account. If they send you the money, you just get all the money. There's no charging 6% or whatever.
Oh, well, setting up a credit card thing to take, like I use Stripe. That was the one I found that seemed the best. My bank was going to charge me a percentage for processing any credit cards, and it was more than that what Stripe was going to be charging per transaction. So I figured if the bank was going to charge me every transaction and charge more, I'll just go ahead and use Stripe, collect more, and then towards the end of the year, just do one transfer out of my Stripe account over to the bank and only pay that transfer. And I don't know if they're going to hit me on the transfer or not. They shouldn't. I believe I get a free one through my bank. I don't think Stripe will do that.
See, I've got a Visa debit card through my credit union,
Mm-hmm.
and they don't charge me anything.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Making payments. Yeah. Making payments is fine.
But even if somebody sends it, like refunds come back or whatever to my debit card, like a purchase, there's no transaction fee.
Right. On the client side, no. But accepting whoever is receiving, they're paying a transaction fee on the other end of it. They're eating that. You're not seeing it on the customer side, but on the other side, you'll see some sort of a transaction fee. Or you should.
I don't know, I'm not that big into the banking system, but I just thought that
Have you
was
ever-
the plus
but do you-
side of having a debit card was there were no transaction fees either way. I don't know, you'd have to ask. I guess.
I'm not sure. But
I love parents who can't make up their mind.
Oh, you got somebody wanting to make an order?
Well, they already got a $300 order. And she said she just realized if she pays $10 more, she gets an extra 8x10 in that package. And she said that one of the other relatives want another yard sign. So can I just send you $35 more? And you change the package. I said, sure. You know, hey, sure.
Yeah.
Send me money.
Send me the money.
And that's what they're doing right now. We got a lot of people changing stuff around and add money to it. I can do that.
okay.
I haven't even taken the kid's picture. He didn't make it the first day. And I said, make sure he's here today. He said he's going to be there. Because they're getting yard signs and they're getting individuals and season package and everything else. So that's 335 from one person.
Cool cat, Don is not buying another drone. No, he was just talking about transaction.
No.
Cool cat.
Yeah.
You were buying
Yeah, Michael, I'm talking about setting up to receive payments for my services through credit card. I have been doing just cash/check, mainly check.
I get a lot through Venmo right now. But I get Venmo from a lot of people, but then I Instaproofs where my site is. If they go order online, it goes through Stripe.
That's what I'm using, a Stripe.
And Stripe hits me for what aggravates the hell out of me. And I tell them I gotta find a better way to write it. I've written it. I said, if you plan to order online, you know, because I tell them shipping will apply after a certain date.
Mm-hmm.
The first order I bring to the school, hand out. It's easier that way to try to ship everything.
Right.
So like Friday, today is the last day to order. That's not really the last day. Next Friday is the last day to order anything without shipping. I tell them, go to the shipping menu and I show pictures and hit Mandeville pickup and it's no shipping. And then I'll get an order in with $9.99 shipping on it. So I got to go back and reverse the $9.99 and it cost me extra 24 cents. I get about 10 of those, you know?
Yeah.
It's only $2.50, but it's a point. You know, read, please.
Yeah, and thing is, when I do this, I don't know how people are paying usually before I send out the invoice. And so it gets really complicated trying to explain to somebody, okay, if you're gonna pay with credit card, I'm going to charge you this much. If you're paying with this, I'm gonna charge you this much. And so it's like, I'll just eat the credit card, that transaction cost for Stripe. So I'd rather take a check because I get all the money.
Yeah, I don't mind the $1.17.
I do.
It's not.
It's the
But you
principle.
got to understand. I right now on my fees for this whole picture day. Let me see. My spreadsheet is very in depth. Let's put it that way. Yeah, I guess I don't like it. Right now, on picture day, I got $31.74 in fees.
Well, I get like, if I charge $100, I'm gonna end up with $3 of that going to Stripe, and that was my $3.
Yeah. Well, they got my $32 going to Stripe. You know?
But it does let people pay me a little more conveniently, and maybe they'll call me again.
Yeah, and I tell these people, especially with the season pictures, I'll tell them can we wait and pay you like at this time? You know, I'll say you can pay me in 2 payments.
Mm-hmm.
I'll let you pay me half of it now and half of it later, like that. and I'll give you your website. I just won't give you the download capabilities till I get the second half. And I'll tell them, and I'm not doing it to be mean. I said I've had it in the past where somebody's paid me a third of the money, and then 4 weeks later the son quit, and he's downloaded all the pictures, or 5 weeks later the son's quit, and it's halfway through the season and he's only $100 in.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so I'll lock it up quick. You know, but I got one of my main players, man. God darn it, I got to hear from him. Harriman. He was a tight end. Now he's a wide receiver. He's good. He's going to have a lot of pictures this year. Mom said he's got to go to the doctor. He's injured. He don't know if he's playing. That's a 250 I look for every year. They're going to find out they're going to clear him this week or next week to go back. That's the thing too. You got to watch the injured players, because if you get somebody you got injured right off the bat, you're stuck. If it's 5 games into it, like I tell everybody, I charge $50 a game or $250 for the year. After the fifth game, if the child gets hurt, that's it. You know, because you've had your $250 worth basically. It's minimum of 5 games. I usually don't have issue with people getting hurt. Maybe one, and they'll be out maybe 1 week. You know. Now, if it's the son doing something stupid, we had one year, the son got suspended for 3 games. That was like life, you know. You eating that one. I'm just glad to get 6 games into the season, then I'm good. Yeah, that spreadsheet that I've got set up, the guy I was telling you about, Anthony Campo, he set it up for me. This guy is like the wizard of Excel. That's how good he is. And when we were doing for the pictures, when we were going to sell the pictures, he said, I'm going to set you up a spreadsheet so you'll know where the money's going. And he went through and he did it all, and he went through it with me and showed me.
Mm-hmm.
He said, now this is a base. You can do anything you want with it. And he gave me the base. Man, I use that base for everything. I got it set up to where when I put the money in, it automatically tells me the package. It adds to the package number. When it adds to the package number, it automatically tells me how much profit I get, how much it cost me for that package. Spreads it all out. And at the end of it, when it all breaks down to how much my order is going to cost, how much my fees are, everything, how much taxes are.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, down to the point that bottom line says gross profit, final profit, you know, like this. And it's set up to where I know to the penny exactly what, and then I could add into it if I like I added the yard signs the last couple of years. Just insert a line and put that formula back into that line. Just copy and paste. That's all it is. It makes it so nice. And then at the end of the year, I just print each one of them off, stick it in the folder, and say 2023. So if anything ever comes back, here's my records, you know?
Yep.
Okay, everybody, I think I'm gonna call it. We're down to
I won't be here later.
9 people watching, and
Yep,
9
I'll be on the
people
road
hanging
most
there.
likely
yeah,
when you're back
Don's
on.
gotta head out.
So.
Okay, Joe, take care. We'll see. Well, good luck with your afternoon shoot. We won't see you until tomorrow, right?
I'll see you tomorrow morning.
Okay.
Yeah, y'all be
Bye,
careful.
everybody. Hey, thanks
Have
for
a
being
good
here.
shoot, Don.
You too.